Okay, hi everyone, welcome back, and in this update we are going to check out Algorand's price chart and see what is happening in the short term. But before we get into that, let me talk about a very important point. You see, every single time that I want to make new updates, I usually go back and watch the previous video about that altcoin that I did, and I'm going to see what I said and are we going according to those scenarios or not. And if we are not going according to them, then okay, I'm gonna make some adjustments and basically have a conclusion and a script about what I'm going to argue in the coming updates. But I accidentally this time clicked on two videos back on Algorand, and I was actually thinking that okay, this is the recent update, and I watched the first couple of minutes of today's video, and then I realized, well, okay, this isn't actually the last update. This video came out about 8 days ago, and I was literally thinking to myself, well, okay, why am I so bearish in Algorand, and at the same time we got a move on the upside? This doesn't make any sense. And then I looked at the date and I realized what was going on. The point that I'm trying to make is this. Number one, please watch every single video until the end, because in this update, sure, by the first couple of minutes, I was a bit pessimistic, but then I talked about the possibility of having a move on the upside. And point number two, please watch every single video about your altcoin, including the most recent update, because in this video, I was actually quite bullish and I argued why I think one way or the other we are going to get a move on the upside. Now, if you haven't watched this video, that's absolutely fine. Here is a quick summary for you. Oh, okay. As you can see, we are right now getting a decent pump, which is not that bad, but it's not really going to change a whole lot about what I'm going to say. You see, in the previous video, I said one way or the other, we are going to get a move on the upside, because if you want to be bearish in Algorand and you want to say that this whole move is a correction structure and not an impulse, then okay, you cannot really help yourself but thinking that maybe we are having in here subwaves for a beautiful looking ABC flat followed by ABC into wave X, and we said probably we are having a beautiful move up into our wave Y, and most likely that move is going to be in form of, you know what, an ABC zigzag, which the subwaves for it are going to be like this. 5 up into a correction for wave B, maybe ABC, maybe WXY, maybe even a triangle, doesn't matter, and then another move on the upside into our C leg. And if we just go on the live chart, I was saying in the previous video, look, this is 1, this is 2, wave 3 and 4 and 5. Well, okay, this means we are just having the beginning of an ABC up, and that's why I said, okay, any kind of move down is probably going to be just a correction into wave B, and the next move is going to be a decent one up. And what do you know, we got our move, and here is the situation. Seems like that this is getting way too much extended for a correction structure, so maybe we should be thinking about the bullish case in ALGO a bit more, which I also talked about it in the previous video. Now, in case that you are an absolute new viewer and you haven't watched any of my previous videos, because let's be honest, these days about 85% of you guys are new viewers, so I feel like I should talk about this in every single video. You see, if you want to be optimistic on any altcoin or anything from any chart for that matter, in my view, if you're interested in Elliott waves, you need to be able to find off of the lowest low a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 wave. This specific structure is called an impulsive movement. Rules for it, we should not have overlapping of the waves between wave 2 and 4, and in any kind of 5 wave, wave 3 should not be the smallest wave. And when it comes to the sub waves, okay, 5 wave up into wave 1, 3 and 5. And for our corrections, we can have different scenarios. Let's say, yeah, okay, WXY into wave 4 and then ABC into our wave 2 right in here. Now let's go on the live chart and see what is happening. And if you want to be bullish, then okay, you should probably say from here we are having an ABC expanded flat, and you can even say maybe the beginning of our flat is going to be right around this area. Doesn't really matter a whole lot. The point is, in this initial bounce right in here, I am absolutely able to find a 5 wave, so no problem at all. Now, here's the situation. I still believe this is a 5 wave up. Now I'm going to argue into a wave 1, correction for wave 2, and right now, since our move is getting indeed quite extended, we can say this is going to be into wave 3, which, by the way, did I tell you one very important characteristic of a wave 3 is being quite strong and sharp? Well, I think we are right on track for that. And then we can expect a correction structure into wave 4 and then another move up into wave 5. And pay attention, I'm really hoping that right now in Algorand we are going to see some strength. In other words, we managed to reclaim this very important area between 25.5 to about 25.8 cents once more. And by reclaiming it, I don't mean we simply go above it. No, we have to go above it, sure, but then we need to see a consolidation pattern and then another move up in order to take this important high, and that will be a confirmed reclaim of this very important region. So in an ideal scenario, I want to see this move up continuing, let's say for another 5 to 6%, then pull back, then a move on the upside. And pay attention, when you zoom out a bit more, okay, I think this yellow beautiful 5 wave is going to be actually into a larger degree wave 3 correction for another move into wave 5. And guess what? Even this isn't going to be the end. Why? Because this point right in here wasn't the lowest low. I think this was our lowest low, and you can say, oh, okay, this is 1, this is 2, good move up into wave 3, correction for 4, another move on the upside into wave 5. So if we want to be bullish in Algorand, then I think you need to count on this scenario, meaning having a 1-2 to about these areas to around the lows quite a bit. And it suggests, well, okay, probably exciting times are going to be ahead of us. Now, here's a question for you. Does this mean right around the current area is going to be a long opportunity for us? For two very important reasons, absolutely not. Reason number one, if you want to go long on any chart, then okay, the best place to go long is going to be right at the end of our wave 2, and for example, not at the end of some sort of wave 3 and 4 and 5. Basically, not in the middle of this 5 wave, at the end of wave 2. However, where are we right now? Maybe even close to the end of this phase up. So definitely this isn't ideal. Reason number two, okay, we are having again a very important, so far at least, let's say resistance area, and maybe by the first time that we are going to touch this thing, we are going to get a rejection, let's say even some sort of a reaction from it. And God forbid, if the bearish scenario is happening in here, then okay, right around the highs, essentially you are going to go long. And what do you think is going to happen? Odds are your stop loss are going to get hit. And I actually have on top of those another very important reason to not go long around the current area. You see, let's say you want to go long in algo about the 26 cents area. At that point, what is going to be your stop loss? Well, I don't know about you guys. If I want to go long for like very short term, my stop is going to be under the previous major pivot low, which I think is going to be right in here around 23 cents. On the other hand, what is going to be your target? Well, if you really want to be optimistic in Algorand and you want to count on like a straight move on the upside, then okay, your target can be somewhere around these highs around the 29 cents area. In other words, you are having a 3 cents stop and at the same time a 3 cents target. So your risk to reward ratio is 1-to-1, which isn't necessarily ideal. Why? Because the market is not really always your friend, and there will be a period of time where you are going to basically get it wrong more times than you get it right. And if your risk to reward ratios is 1-to-1, in that period, unfortunately, you are going to lose a good bit of money. On the other hand, if your risk to reward ratio is 1-to-2, for example, bare minimum, then okay, even if you are wrong more times than you are right, you are going to probably make a decent bit of money. Why? Okay, let's say in each trade, you are having a $10 stop loss, on the other hand, a $20 target. And out of 10 times, let's say 6 times you are going to get it wrong, meaning 60% of the times your analysis is absolutely false, and only 4 times out of 10 times you are right. Then okay, in that case, 6 times by $10 equals to $60 loss. However, that 4 times that you made money, you actually had about a $20 target, meaning only with those 4 times you made about $80, and overall 80 minus 60 is equal to plus 20. You are up despite the fact that most of the times you were right. So you see, this is the power of risk to reward ratios for you. And that's why I think you should really avoid the 1-to-1 risk to reward ratios trade, because overall, maybe not even this time, the odds are not really going to be on your favor. So for now, in Algorand, I do not think this move up, the current one that we are getting, is sort of tradable. We need to wait for like a deeper pullback, and then if we identify the right subways, fair enough, this can be a long opportunity and you are allowed to put your stop under the lows in hope that we get like a way bigger of a move on the upside than we are currently having. But for now, nope, definitely not tradable. And having said that, this doesn't mean that in the short term we are not bullish. No, since this move up is accelerating, I'm going to argue we should probably have something like this into wave 3 and 4 and 5, into 3, into 4, into 5, so on and so forth. So this is going to continue a little bit. So, let's be optimistic as long as we are not proven otherwise. And I hope I explained everything well and you understood what is going on in Algorand. Anyway, if you found any value in my content, I would really appreciate if you like this video and consider subscribing to my channel and follow me on Twitter. And if you want more, maybe you want a complete analysis for your own specific crypto, or maybe you want to learn some decent TA in order to be able to make good money in the markets, you can become a member and ask me anything you want. And until the next update, I hope you have a wonderful time. Goodbye.